Hello, Meg here, and I'm your Monday substitute host here on The Pagan Perspective. So this week the subs get to choose our own adventure, which is always very fun. So any topic that had been covered by a regular host since October of 2019 up until last week, we are allowed to cover this week. So I had gone through the many topics, and as many of them were very interesting, I felt that there were only these four that really spoke to me enough to want to do a video on the topic. So they were four topics that were asked separately, but I'm going to try to put them all together in this video for you because I find that they really go together. Anyway, on my path, in my view, they go well together. So without further ado, let's get started. The first one, I'm sorry, I do apologize. I didn't note who asked the question. I just noted the question, but so here it goes. The first one is asking about gender, the male or female aspect of things. And the question is, how do you feel about the concept of a third gender that is not related to male or female in any way? So here on Earth, in our human form, with this human mind that we have, we so easily and naturally, understandably, divide things into male and female. It's easier for us to comprehend, and it just makes things simple, and we like to put things in boxes. And the more generalized the box, the better, in a sense. And so it's very easy to say men and women are different. Male and female is different. And of course we can go on and debate about yes and no and so on and so forth, but that's not the point of this. Anyway, that's not the point I'm trying to make. What I mean by this is that for us to understand the essence of a message that is being sent to us, or how we are feeling or being drawn to something on our spiritual path, we usually first and foremost naturally go to identify it as either male or female, especially with the gods and goddesses. We feel this need to have this sort of creator or this higher being that we need to worship or to feel connected to, and in order to do so we have to have this understanding of whether this deity or this being is either male or female, because that's the way it works here on Earth for the most part. However, if we look closely in biology, we will find that it's not so true either. Just as much as we now see, even more predominantly in the human species, that more people are referring to themselves more as agender or non-binary. It's true in nature as well, and it always has been. It's always been in our species as much as it's been in other species. It's just that our society has sort of, frowned upon it, and so people were hiding. But it's always been true. There have always been humans that have neither identified as being male or female, whether it's in the idea of gender or the sex of itself. Physically, they are neither male or female. They are one, or they are both, as some scientists will see it as either both or neither. However, it's not one or the other. That's the point I'm trying to make. And it's so true. We can see many fish species as well as reptiles who are neither male or female. There are some frogs, some lizards, fish, as I said, even some snakes. The garter snake is neither male or female. So this has been true in nature here on Earth. Just the human mind, we're so used to men, women, male, female, that we kind of have a very hard time getting past that. And unfortunately, it seeps in, this idea seeps into our spirituality as well. I think it comes to the part on our paths where we have to sort of get past that earth chakra. We have to get past our earth way of thinking in order to progress and expand and move on to what is the beyond. And to do that, we sort of have to try to not erase this idea of male and female, but try to get over it, because it's just not true, even on our own planet at this time. So how do I feel about a third gender? For me, it's completely logical. And in that, as well as when I regard to the gods and goddesses, I'm not seeing them as either male or female, or any gender for that matter, because the gods and goddesses for me are an archetype or a metaphor for the message that the cosmos is trying to send to me. Now, because I am still in this human form and I still have this human mind and it still functions in my earthly ways, The energies understand that for me to understand this message, it needs to send it to me in a form that I'm going to understand with this mind. And so sometimes, yes, it will sort of, what's the word, I'm not enunciate, but be more enthusiastic on the part that it is this goddess. And why is this message coming to me as a goddess in this female form instead of this male form? But what is the male aspect of this female form? And so does that have a role in this message that is coming my way? And all of that plays in mind. But to be honest, it's so much easier for me to decipher the messages when I just completely forget this idea of female and male, this feminine and masculine side of gods and goddesses. And when I just see them for who they are, because even though I do identify as a woman, I do identify as female both physically and so sexual and my gender as female, it's not who I am. It makes up a part of who I am, but it is not who I am. And if I'm honest, I have a deep curiosity of what it would be like to be male, to be a physical male. But I don't feel the need to go and change myself to have that experience. Instead, I try to find to experience it a different way through meeting others who are experiencing it physically and so on and so forth. So there are so many different ways to learn. You don't have to experience it all for yourself. What's the word I'm looking for? Concretely, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but you can experience and live things through others as well. And I think gender is this thing. And once we learn to look past the whole gender aspect or the whole sex aspect of people and our gods and goddesses, I think we will be able to really further progress and expand our minds. Because when it gets down to it, whether something is feminine or masculine, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. That's not the message that is being sent to you. That's not the important part. So you have to try to get beyond that. And this third gender, for me, the energies from the cosmos, they're not beings, they're not creatures that need to procreate on some planet and so on. So they don't need to have this female male side of things. They're not procreating, they're just creating. And so they are that third gender. They are neutral. They are agender, if you will. Or bigender. I mean, it's kind of, agender is without, bigender is with both. So whichever term you would like to use, they are neither male or female. These energies are just themselves. They are this energy, this life. And so we have to try to get past that idea of either male or female. And I think it would make things so much easier if we could just live and let live. And so with that, the next question that I wanted to talk about is one that was talking about deepening your experiences with deity. Outside of meditation and exploration of what little I can find of her mythology, this person was talking about Hecate at the time, which I could be wrong, but I'm guessing that this person is probably at the very beginning of their pagan path, or pretty close in the beginning of their pagan path, because usually when we're all starting out, we're kind of drawn to Hecate, aren't we? And seeing this question, I'm thinking that perhaps this is a beginner. So or I don't like to say beginner, but someone new to their path. So she's asking about to find more on Hecate's mythology. I don't know how to deepen my relationship with her. If you have any recommendations on how I could get closer to the goddess with the limited resources I have, it would be greatly appreciated. So my advice to you, if I may, is to again ask yourself, why am I being drawn to Hecate? And I think the reason why you're asking for more information about her is because you're trying to figure that out. Why am I being drawn to her? And I'm sorry to say, then again, I'm not, but you're doing so well already, because if you're already meditating and searching then when the time comes and when you need it, the information will find you. And it will come to you through meditation or through information here and there, so on and so forth. And her message will come and you will get it. And you'll just have that epiphany moment where you're just, got it. Already, if you're feeling drawn to her and she's coming to you in meditation or in your thoughts, which is sort of a subconscious meditation, if you will, we're going about doing our things on autopilot, but we're thinking about something else. That's a form of meditation, if you will. And so if she's already coming to you and you're already feeling her and you already feel close to her where you want to do more, then I would say she's already communicating to you. The energies are already using Hecate as this messenger to you. And so to learn more about her, I would just say continue to meditate. Don't stick to the idea that she's a goddess. Just try to think of what is it that she represents, and what does that have to do with me and where I am right now on my path or in my life, because it could certainly be a message that is not religious at all. It's just your religion aspect, your spirituality, as I like to call it, is the cosmos way of connecting to you. So in ourselves, we have our soul, and then we have our ego sitting on top of our soul, if you will. So our ego is our physical form that's keeping us alive. It's the one telling us not to step in front of the bus that's coming our way, so that we don't die. And then we have our soul, which is our essence. It's that energy that's within us that returns to the cosmos once we're no longer here physically on this earth. And it is what gives us this drive, and thrives us to live. To connect those two, we have spirit. And so that spirit could be what it is that it could be our passion, it could be the information, it could be our experiences. It's also the conditioning of society that we kind of have to get that muck out of there. It's that connection between soul and ego so that we can live and go about as a balanced being that's here for experience, but still connected to the cosmos so that we can further expand, progress and expand, as I'm always saying. So when we're getting these messages from the cosmos in a form of a god or goddess, and we feel that connection, it's because this message is very deep and we need to try to understand it. And with anything in life, it can take time. And I know it can be very frustrating, especially when we're so eager and we feel so passionate about it. But you have to open yourself and trust the universe. The universe will send you what you need when you need it. And so if you just keep on meditating, keep opening yourself, keep searching if you feel you need to keep searching, you will find what you need eventually. And it will be when you need it. And it will be that moment. And when you think back to it, you'll be like, it's good I learned that now and not back then, or not too much further. It's good that I learned that now, because it's all about the now. It's all about the present. It's all we have. We only have now. And so there's no use in trying to hurry up the future, because you're never going to succeed. You just have to be patient. And I'm being completely honest with you when I say I think you're already doing great if you're really meditating and you still have that feeling, that passion that you need to know her more, that you need to understand her better and feel closer to her. I understand that greatly, but I think you're already on the right path. Just try to be patient with yourself and with the universe. Again, in the universe, time does not exist. So it's just going to wait until the moment you need it, and it's going to be there right before your eyes when you're least expecting it, and you'll feel wonderful for it. So just keep going, keep on keeping on, as good old Bob Dylan would say, and you'll see that your labor will bear fruit. I promise you that. Don't give up. And again, your relationship already, if you're feeling it, then your relationship with her is already there. And she's always saying, hi, I gotcha. And the thing about these energies is that they don't need more from us. They just need our attention. Once they've got it, they'll keep sending what you need when you need it. So just trust it, and breathe and take your time, and the information will come your way. And not just keep on searching. I don't have any resources specifically for Hecate. Everything that I found just came to me when it came to me, and I don't think I would have any more information than anyone else would, to be honest. So I just really go for meditation, and I find that is the best way to connect with the cosmos, to receive these messages in whatever form they come. So yes. With that, there was the topic of, is it okay in your path? And this was regarding, like, is it okay to buy your own tarot cards? Is it okay to worship one god but ignore the other? Is it okay to cut your hair? To cut your own hair, so on and so forth. Now, the general answer is always yes. Yes, if that's the way you feel it, and yes, as long as you're not harming anyone or anything. And I do agree with these two answers. But I understand that can be very frustrating, especially when you're new to this, to your spirituality and to your path. And that's why I want to talk about this, because here's the thing. Regarding looking at things as feminine or masculine, that you have to, there's either feminine or masculine, or that you have to strengthen your relationship with the god or goddesses, gods or goddesses, or that you have to do this and you have to do that and you have to do it this way, you have to do that way. It's complete and utter bullshit. That's it. I'm sorry. And it frustrates me so much when people are trying to say you have to say this, or you have to do it this way, you have to do that. It's bullshit. And this is why. Your spirituality is your spirituality. Even though I'm here on the pagan perspective explaining where I'm coming from, I know that everything I say will never, ever resonate with someone 100%. You will always have, oh yeah, but kind of idea going. And I want that for you. I really do, because that means it's working up here. You need to think and act for yourself. You need to take full responsibility for yourself, even in your spirituality, and especially in your spirituality. So this is it okay thing, if you feel it, go for it. As long as it's not doing harm to you or to anyone or anything else. Really, truly, that is the best answer. If someone's out there telling you you can't cut your own hair, who the fuck are they to tell you that? If they're out there telling you you have to say this and you have to say it this way, who the fuck are they to tell you that? Maybe they have more experience, but the thing is, that was their experience, and that's what worked or didn't work for them. It might be completely different for you. I know a lot of people who are not into working with demons or so on and so forth. It could work for some people. Some people are saying, no, it's all bad. It might be good for others. You have to be open to this, and you have to be ready. And if you're not ready to take full responsibility of your spirituality, then maybe you're not ready at all. That's the thing. Just try to get to know yourself better, past your gender, past your sexuality, past these conditioned ideas that we have. You have to clean up all that muck that's blocking your spirit connection between soul and ego, and you have to learn yourself. You really have to get to know yourself. And to hell with all those people who are telling you what to do and how to do it. They have no idea what you need. They could probably give some advice, and it could be some sound advice. And there's a difference between advice and telling you what to do. And you have to learn to filter that, because especially when you're when you're asking a pagan community, even us here on the pagan perspective, you have to be able to filter what's being said, because like I said, some things just might, I keep playing with my hair, sorry, some things just might not work or be good for you on your path, and the only one who will know better is you. So take the responsibility, okay? Now, things in life can be scary, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. And if you're scared, that just means that you're conscious and you know that you're about to do something that could possibly change your life forever. And that could be scary. I understand that. But you have to get past this fear. And if you trust in yourself, after learning yourself, trusting yourself, and you trust in the universe, no worries, my friend. Don't worry. Be happy. Because it'll be good. I believe in it. I'm sure of it. I've seen it. I've experienced it. And in good time, it'll happen to you if you just keep that trust, keep that passion, and go for it yourself. Take that responsibility and start your journey. Go forth. Don't worry about what's behind you, and don't worry about what's coming for you up the road, because it might change before you get to it. And as long as you're right here, right now, you can't do anything about what's up there, what's in front of you right now. You're here now. So do it now. And you have to do it your way. Frank Sinatra. So, so is it okay? Go for it. And then the last thing I wanted to cover is the not sharing. And so someone was asking regarding where they've heard quite often that sharing your magic record or grimoires or book of shadows, whatever it is you want to call it, could take away from your magic. Okay. My path is all about the progression and expansion of humanity, of this energy, of this universe. We cannot progress and expand unless we share. So we cannot advise unless we share. We cannot love unless we share. Sharing is essential, and it is who we are. We are herd animals. On top of it, if we want to speak on this planet, in this realm, we are herd animals. We need to share in order to expand our minds and progress as a species. We need to share. Imagine if we never shared information. Imagine if the caveman that did finally realize how to make fire never shared it with anyone else. And then he died, and he took the fire idea with him. Where would we be right now as a species? We need to share, and I think it's the same for magic. As far as sharing, taking away from your magic, making your magic weaker, I think this idea is for those who do not feel secure in their magic work. I think it's for those who are afraid that someone could be better than them. It's for even though it's a ridiculous idea, because if they shared, the other person would share, and then they could just get better together. It's, for me, not sharing, keeping everything for yourself is just, well, it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's selfish, it's egotistical, it's not logic. We're here to experience, and I'm very sure that some of the information that they have, or some of the experiences that they had, is because someone shared with them. So for them to not give back to the community, and to not help this progression and this expansion, it's just ridiculous. It's just bullshit. So for me, we have to share. And if anyone had come to me and said, wow, that's very interesting, I'd really like to know how you do that, I'll show them, really. And I'll say, this is how it works for me, this is it, but now you have to find how it works for you. And it makes everything expand and progress. So it just makes sense to share. And I don't feel at all that it would weaken my magic or weaken me at all. I am very secure in my magic, and I know there are people with far more experience, and they have this a far more powerful magic, if you will. And I'm happy for that, because for me, I see that as an opportunity to learn, and I'm only hoping that they would share and that I could learn from them. And then from them, someone would come to me and learn from me, and it would just keep going and going and going. So, and we can keep this magic going, keep it turning, and keep it progressing, and keep it expanding. I think sharing is an absolute must on this spiritual path, and I really could not. I don't want to say. I would tolerate it in a sense that it is that person's free will and choice to not share. But I would really think it disappointing and unfortunate that they would choose to do so, or to not share. For this reason of we need to learn together, and we're all in this together. And no, I'm not going to quote that horrible Disney movie. But we need to really, we need to share. We do. We need to share. We need to communicate. We need to clear up this muck together. We need to help each other. That's the only way we're going to survive, not just as a species, but as a being. The energy flows. It just flows, and it flows into one another, and it flows out, and it flows into one another and flows out. It learns from each other, and it just keeps going and expanding with each other. There is no separate. Everything is together. Everything is connected. So to not share, you're breaking that string, that thread that's connecting, that spider web that moves everything. And I just find that stupid, very stupid, to keep it simple. So, yeah, got serious there. So to wrap it all up, do I believe in a third gender? Absolutely. I think it's the most logical idea ever. And the energies the energy of the cosmos is neither male or female, as well as many things here on Earth. So just get past that. How to connect deeper or have deeper experiences with deity. Be patient, keep on meditating, keep on doing what you're drawn to do, and it will find you. I promise you that. Is it okay? Absolutely, as long as you feel it and you really need to do it, and this is the way you feel it needs to be done, and you're not harming yourself or anyone or anything, then go for it. Take responsibility of your spirituality and go for it. And then the not sharing. We're not on a playground, people. Just stop being selfish. You can progress so much faster and so much easier if you share, communicate and share. And love. Okay, I'm leaving you there. It's a long one. Hey, well, I still don't have Cara beat. She's still got the longest videos up here. But I'm going to leave it there. If you stuck with me this long, thank you. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them down below. Also, if there's any topic that the host covered that I didn't cover in this video that you would like for me to cover, please leave it in the comments below or message me on Facebook, and I will get that done on my personal channel. So thank you very much for watching. I wish you all the best of journeys. Stay safe, and yeah, much love to you all. Until next time, safe journey.